what they call a Black person with a PhD? And the answer was nigger. None of it matters. They don't care.
Even with the doctoral degree and being in the 1% of individuals with the highest level of education in which you can have, to many, I'm still just Dr. Nigger.
Y'all want to be invited to the cookout? This is the cookout. This is education. This is activation. We need you here in order to invite you there. And trust me, we want to. We just got to make sure your intentions are matching your impact. So, come on, get you a plate. This is That Talk. I'm Javi. Let's begin. First off, thank you, Angela Rye, for the shirt. Don't forget the contributions that Black people have given to this country. The last time we spoke about toning down our blackness and how we preemptively protect ourselves by trying to change people's perception of us to be respectable, and that way we can remain safe and they can remain comfortable. That behavior can manifest itself in a lot of ways. So, Dr. West, have there ever been times where you felt you need to engage in respectability politics?
If I operated in a manner of respectability politics as the term is coined today, then that would allow individuals to afford me more grace and also treat me better than they may treat some of my friends who may speak a little differently than I do. However, I think that all of us have encountered situations in which we've learned that's just not true.
As someone who studied psychology as their major in undergrad, I understand the psychology of people, in addition to how they have been socialized to what is normal, and how you have to sometimes consider others before you speak, even though people don't give you that same consideration, right?
Even the best of us, President Barack Obama, he wasn't afforded that respect.
And she's got these crocodile tears like, oh, I'm so sorry, Justin. I was just, I didn't vote for him, but, I was just worried about what that means, for people like me. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Lisa? What are you really talking about? You just look me in the eyes. And for this country who's had, up until this point, nothing but white male presidents, for the first Black president, you look me in my eyes, you say you hope he gets effing assassinated.
I was interning for someone in politics, and my friend said, hey, call him. And so I pulled my phone out, which in retrospect could have ended in disaster had the cop seen me pulling my phone out as a threat. And I start to call him, and the cop tries to snatch the phone. He doesn't, he misses, and so I put him on speakerphone, and it got us out of the situation. But as I always tell my friends, I shouldn't have to know a politician for us to go home tonight with our lives intact when we've done nothing wrong.
This is what we go through as Black men every day. This is our reality.
There's no problem with excellence and being educated and communicating in a certain way. The problem is with this behavior, though, is that even with it, if our skin is weaponized, it doesn't matter. If we still check that box that elicits that fear, it means nothing.
And I've learned very, very candidly, just to be candid rather, that even with the doctoral degree and being in the 1% of individuals with the highest level of education in which you can have, to many, I'm still just Dr. Nigger. It doesn't matter whether or not I'm dressed in a three-piece suit or whether I'm dressed with this hoodie with this necklace of Africa on. I'm still going to be seen and viewed as some in a way in which is a threat.
Because I'm Black, female, and Southern, I tend to have a lot of sass when I talk. I tend to say it like it is, but I also tend to elevate when I speak, and I'm always mindful of that.
So I had come in and inherited, we had some NBA athletes, and the person that I was directly reporting to, I could just tell that she wanted to find a way out of managing these athletes. And I was like, why? The NBA is, and the brand that we had was premium. And I was like, the NBA is the most premium league you can think of. First row is Jay-Z and Beyonce, and everybody wants to be seen at these games. You'll have royalty come and see. Why are you trying to get rid of this relationship? It's not premium. It's not premium. We need to be sponsoring athletes in tennis, in golf, fencing. I said fencing.
The thing about respectability is that all of our decisions, all that weight really weighs on us because every decision we make is a legacy play.
Every decision then, and especially now, is a legacy play. Like even deciding to be guest on like podcasts or to do something like this, I see it as a legacy play, because if something happens to me, I want my words, I want, my physical to be around longer than my physical could ever possibly could.
Ultimately, respectability is one of the most used tools in our survival toolkit. But what will it take for that toolkit to become unnecessary?
I thought that there was a certain way in which I had to present myself at all times. There was a certain vernacular that I needed to use at all times. I believe, just as you alluded to, if I operated in a manner of respectability politics, as the term is coined today, then that would allow individuals to afford me more grace and also treat me better than they may treat some of my friends who may speak a little differently than I do. So what I've learned to do, and this is just me as a personal individual, is to become comfortable with myself. And when I'm comfortable with who I am, I'm not focused on how you view me. What I'm focused more so on is that I conduct myself in the highest level of excellence at all times for me, not for you. And how I show that and exemplify that may be with the hoodie with the chain on. I always have a part of Africa in the back of my head in design.
For people who already have perceptions of you, and when you choose to speak on some issues, you have to be calculated in a lot of instances, and that can sometimes be intimidating, and it also can be very frustrating because Black people in this country don't always have the liberty to say what it is that they feel.
I am going to be cemented in my Blackness and make sure that it's fierce, that it's tall, and that it's true and it's clear.
It's funny that I spent so much of my life leading with my resume so people wouldn't judge me about my name, but at the end of the day, none of that is going to save me from anything, and it shouldn't, because we should just be people who get to walk around, and because we're humans, be treated like humans.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I'm Javi, and as always, make sure your actions match your captions. I'll see you next week on That Talk.